Hello, thank you for joining me once again. Today, let's rant. Let's talk. I am finding it. Oh, first, see, I'm ready to rant. Welcome. Thank you for joining me once again. Thank you for returning, all my subscribers. And I'd like to send out a welcome, a warm invitation to you. I am inviting you to subscribe to my channel, to come and listen to me rant and talk, or read a book, do energy clearing, send healing vibes, whatever the case may be. I am inviting you to subscribe, like, and share. Okay? Thank you. Welcome. I am grateful from the bottom of my heart. All right, now, grr. Finding balance right now is a challenging thing for me to do. Trying to find balance with being positive, raising vibrations, and with the reality of where we currently are. There's always light and dark, there's always up and down, there's always good and bad. But finding that balance, finding that center, keeping yourself aware with not allowing yourself to get angry or worried or to drop into the bucket of fear. Where we are at, reasons I feel that things are going to turn quickly is because this current administration, and this is all for entertainment purposes only, I'm just venting in an entertainment purpose realm. He's going to dismantle Diaper Don. The Rump administration is going to continue to bulldoze and steam through and change things and allow people to do what they want to do, like Mr. Leon, whom is from South Africa. Seems to be a little bit of a quandary within that, with the immigration policies that in points of views and everything that they have, but it doesn't seem to apply to rich white people, because now the Rump administration wants to give, through an executive order, allowing white South Africans to receive immigration status here in the United States, because of how unfairly they are being treated from the land that is being distributed amongst the people. They're feeling upset that their land is being taken away from them. But even though I'm not there, knowing the situation that has been there, I can take a wild guess and gander that you took the land away from other people in the first place, and they just want it back. Kind of is like what's going on here in the United States of these Americas. I am ranting. Yes. It is good to let things off your chest in a positive way, in the most benevolent way. Yes. I know I clear energy and send love and light and healing vibes, and I do that even in this moment. I am still in a physical body. And let me say this, I am also aware, and I would say to you, for those who are not aware, how we create our own environments, our life, in this dream that in reality, this is all a dream. This is all a dream. On a soul level, we're here to experience. And now in my experience that I am having here, we still have to remember who we are. We create our realities within this dream. So if you fall into fear, and in that realm, that's what you will experience. If that's your world of what you're going to create versus your world of what do you want it to be. Peace, love, happiness, provision, experiencing growth in a positive, healthy, benevolent way. Yeah, get woo-wooey. Regardless. If that's the world that you choose, then that's what you need to create in your own belief system. Because your world that you're experiencing is what you've created to be real within your own reality, up in this dreaming world. And yes, I'm still ranting, that I'm still me. You know, I try to do the best that I can. I try to self-correct. You know, why wait till I'm on the other side to have my life review of what I did and did not do? If I become aware of it now, that's one less slide that's going to be played when I've entered onto the other side. For I am responsible for my own actions. You are responsible for your own actions. I'm everywhere I know. But this is how it is. And the reason I say that it's going to be this way, and this is also, you know, turning to turning to the government, the society, the changes in the society that we are living in. Diaper Don does not want to go to jail. Diaper Don is not in jail right now because he got elected president. However, that presidency at the most will last 4 years. I know he's going to do everything that he possibly can to try to change that so he can be there for as long as eternity stands on his end. And in addition to that, in the help that he received from people like Leon, the South African, and all the money that was put into in order for for Diaper Don to achieve this appearance of a victory, he too is going to continue to do what he wants to do, because that within itself is madness. How is somebody just walking around who technically doesn't even have a true position because he hasn't been confirmed, nominated, appointed? He's just been allowed. And he's going into the deepest part of our government. How are you going to go send a team to the CDC and want the names of the people who've been employed in the recent 2 years? And they want to know the names of the people who worked on the assignments when the vaccine and everything that was happening when COVID was rampant, when that was running around for entertainment purposes only. And then on his team is a bunch of 19-year-olds. What? What were you like at 19? I know you thought you knew everything. You also have to be careful. Well, let me get back to Diaper Don. He is going to do everything that he possibly can just in order to save himself. I'm going to get low and dirty right now. Is he going to deport his wife? Do you know that in the state of Alabama? And be careful with this, because these bills that they're getting passed in these states are also can become national law, not just within that state. Because here we had the Lincoln Riley Act. Unfortunate, somebody was out jogging, a nursing student, and she was attacked by an illegal immigrant, killed. And so they went and they passed the Lincoln Riley Act. They didn't think about passing any acts with these American citizens who was walking around murdering folks, and the dude that went from one Asian place, massage place, up to another one, just shooting people, killing Americans. They didn't think to pass a law for that because it wasn't an immigrant, it was a white man, but I digress. Anyway, that went up to Capitol Hill and became national. It's up there. If it hasn't been passed, it's up there to be passed. There's so much going on, it's hard to keep up. And that's also the intention. Keep throwing at it's like a doggone dust storm, a snowstorm, a blizzard. You can't see in front of you. So much stuff being thrown at you at the same time. It is intentional. It is a distraction. And it is so that he can keep his butt out of jail. Because if he makes it through these 4 years, he will try to escape to some other country. But that's if he doesn't burn that bridge in the actions that he's taking right now. I mean, there is so much. It's challenging to watch the news for me because it's challenging now. Breathe. Yes, me, you, breathe. Everybody. Let's just stop for a minute. Everybody breathe. Laws that are being passed. In the state of Alabama, there's a law that's trying to be passed that mimics a slave bill. That if you knew of a runaway slave, or if you were harboring a runaway slave, or if you knew somebody that was harboring a runaway slave and you did not report it and they found out, then you too were held criminally liable. That's what they're doing for the immigration bill there. If you know of somebody who's an immigrant and you don't report it, if you know where somewhere it's working, if hired, if you know where they live, if you know anything about it, you're to report it or you're to be held criminally liable. Kind of mirrors Nazi Germany time. Report those Jews. We are in our Pluto return. Oh, before I forget, there's one more bill that's passing, that's up to pass in Alabama. And it then, is it that one? Somewhere. There's a bill in one of these states. Check and see if it's yours. There you go. That they want to pass. That if you are married, then they want to prevent you from voting. If you are a married woman, they want to prevent you from voting. They're really, really, really trying to take you back. Do you remember during the campaign when he kept saying, don't you want to go back to 1950s? Don't you want to go back to the way it was? And whoever voted for this way, congratulations. Congratulations, you created this reality. You were very, very successful in creating this reality. Ranting, that's what I'm doing. I am solely ranting. There's so much to talk about. It's like, where do you start first? Where do you go next? The Pluto return that we're currently in. I spoke about it before. It happens every 250 years. So Pluto return. United States was established approximately 250 years ago, and upon this establishment, what was what were our reasonings? What was our thinking? What did we do? And now we're at the point to where the same alignment, and then you can bring it into review. What works, what didn't work. Excuse me. What was happening at that time? Colonizers came to this country, to this land, and did an ethnic cleanse of the Native Americans. They're called Native Americans now. We call them Native Americans. They are called by their tribes. Anyway, and I should know this, I have 3 Native tribes within me. I have Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Chippewa. Okay. 60 million were here at that time, lived on this land. Ethnic cleanse by the colonizers who came, spreading the Christian news of the way you should be, because you're savages. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you want. Here, do this, because then you can have a job and make some money. Because we've taken away your land to be able to grow your own food and crops and have your own home, but you can come work over here and have a job and be able to buy all the things that you want. And now we got the rump administration. Diaper Don wants to waddle his saggy diaper ass over and claim Palestine? And tell them, oh, no, you can't come back. You need to go live in another country. Just like he's telling people here, no, go live in another country. You may leave. And in fact, get out. And then telling the leaders of those other countries, you need to take these people. Okay, because it's not safe for them there. I always felt, and I don't know if I said it, I've said it to people, but I don't know if I said it in the video. I said that Israel is going to start bombing again, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. They were going to do something or create something and as a reason to start bombing again, knowing all those people have returned to their land. Same thing with this rump administration. They will create their own stories. They will create their own mythical illusions for you to see, to believe. And that's the reason why we're putting tariffs on Mexico. We're going to put tariffs on Canada. All this bad stuff that's happening. And we're putting tariffs all around the world now. We're going to charge them all. And he's trying to justify. And he's going to continue to do everything he's doing. He's going to continue to try to break this country. Regardless if it needed to be broken or not, we could have did it in a more benevolent way via Harris. But people were too afraid or offended or confused or racist to vote for a black and then woman because she was not qualified and they felt she was dumb as a rock. Well, now they literally got somebody dumb as a rock up in the White House right now. Expect services to be cut. Things like the education department's already being cut and whittled away. So there are not going to be as many lower income individuals being allowed to go to college and receive financial assistance. Although it is their right to receive that assistance and attend college. They want to eventually turn this into the only way that you're going to go to college is if you have the money to pay for everything in its entirety yourself. Therefore, that then begins to eliminate a whole class of people and only enroll a certain class of people lined with their pockets. They want to break this country down because when breaking it down and breaking the unified status, remember, we are the United States of America. United States of America. Land of the free. Home of the brave. Remember those words? Remember separation of church and state? Do you remember that? Do you remember that used to be a fight? Now they want to put it as the Bible is part of the history courses. This is not church. When you go to school to learn, not to attend church. Everybody who does attend church, whatever that church building may be, synagogue, Baptist, Catholic, the mosque, they choose whom they want to receive their spiritual guidance from. Why are we forcing one particular religion? Because you feel it's the right thing to do? Didn't we do this already with the Indians, the Native Americans? Didn't you ethnic cleanse, take away their culture, cut their hair, did not allow them to speak their native language, and force them into Christianity by removing them from their own homes and putting them in orphanages? Who else did they do this to? Let me think. Black people went over to another country, ethnic cleansed, to bring them to this country and say, get to work. We own you now. And made laws and rules to govern them, make them have children, whether through their own or through rape, and then take them away and sell the children. And here they want to reform the Department of Education. Why do you think they want to remove so many books, so much information, and not even allow you to have an education? Oh, they want to keep you dumb as a rock so that you can't think for yourself, so that you don't use your own logic and reason. Let me see, where did that happen at? Oh, the 2024 elections. Many people did not stop and think and use their own logic and reason as to what Diaper Don was up there saying. They cherry picked what he was saying. Pick here, choose there. Oh, he's just talking there, but he's really going to do that. Everything he said on that campaign trail, he is doing. Why are you acting surprised? But remember this one thing in all the budget cutting. Now, I am not saying that there is not wasteful spending that occurs within the government. That's always been a thing. That's always been said. That has always been an issue to be cleaned up. But there is a more benevolent way to go about it. But let me remind you, on all that money that they're spending, where did they get that money from? All those hard-working people that pay their taxes, including the immigrants who work and then pay their taxes. in this country and benefit. They don't benefit from any of the government benefits that we do as American citizens, but they still contribute to this country, to this economy, to this society. So why would they want to break that? Let's use our logic. Let's use our reasoning. Let's use the brain that we have and think about it. What happens if you take a group and divide them down the middle and then pit them against each other? And you have two sides fighting, just fighting one another. But then when you divide that even more, you have so much fighting and confusion going on that you're not seeing what's really happening. He's intentionally trying to take over more than just the United States. He is saying it, whether it is bullshit or not. The fact that it is coming out of his mouth and it resonates what happened when this country was first established, and we are now at the Pluto return, and we're going to see, are we going to continue doing what we established this on, or are we going to make a change? So right now, what are you going to do? What is he going to do? What can we do? Because that's the real question. Within our country, we have laws, we have voting, we have a midterm that is coming up. I have said it around the house quite a few times now. I don't know if we're going to have a midterm. I don't know if we will have another election if things get so broke down. We may find this country have broken up, states receding from the United States, from these actions. The Trump administration is even breaking us away from our allies. That is a division. But yet, within the breaking of the allies, he's trying to establish more territory. Canada even had the prime minister caught on a high mic saying he wasn't joking about that. He really wants to make Canada part of the United States. Greenland, he said it before. He's saying it now and using the excuse through fear, oh, we need it for safety. We need that land so that we can be able to defend our country from the enemy that he's currently creating. Who's going to come to our defense? Should some of these people whom he's deciding to piss off decide to attack this country? Who's going to come to our defense if you keep snipping off our allies, pissing off our allies, breaking away from our agreements? There are people out there who literally voted for this simply because, one, it was what they wanted in their heart and they are on his vibrational level, money-wise, racial-wise. Or two, you didn't want to vote for a black person. You didn't want to vote for a woman. Three, you're a part of that cult. I recommend finding the exits now and taking your exit from this cult. If you have realized you are in a cult, you have an exit on your right and you have an exit on your left. You have to find humor in these times, right? I know I'm jumping everywhere. Panama, he's starting to mess with Panama, trying to take over the Panama Canal. It's distraction, and at the same time, it's not. Don't you also find it interesting that he wants to bring over South Africans, white South Africans, on this Pluto return time, when we once had black Africans that were brought over to be as slaves. Now, if these rich white South Africans come over because they're so distressed because their land has been taken away from them, are we bringing another oligarch into this country? Well, we already have Elon and Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel was the one that took J.D. Vance from job to the Senate and then to the VP. Research that. Peter Thiel, that white South African. I'm not racist. I'm being real. I am being real. I know what it's like to live in this country as a black person. It does not matter what my complexion is. If you're black, you're black. If you're brown, you're brown. If you are of color, you are of color. They want to bring only immigrants that they choose, like they did with Twitter. When all those people left because Elon bought it, and then the people that stayed, do you know how many of them were immigrants that were on that H-1B, whatever number is, visa, and they couldn't leave because they were there on a job status? So if they were to quit, then they would lose their immigration status to be able to, they would then have to go back to their own country. But yet he wants to bring in more of those because they got paid less. What does that sound like? Kind of similar to slavery, right? These tricky white South Africans. Don't be fooled. Pay attention to the laws that they are making in your state, because them state laws can become national laws. I do expect him to cut all individual federal funding programs, or at least reduce it as well. But remember though, those are those taxpayers' money in the first place. But he's going to say who can have it and who cannot when you are in a time of need. During that inauguration prayer service, when the bishop made a mercy plea to Rump Diaper Don, did you watch the faces of his family members? Did you see the daughter when she mentioned scared immigrants, scared that are also gay and of other? Did you notice her face? Oh, all of y'all, every single one of y'all sitting up in there, you are a same vibrational match. You are birds of a feather that stick together. Don't be fooled. Not only do you have to listen to the words, but you have to watch the actions. That minister, reverend, whatever her title is, was doing her job as a person that represents God and Jesus and is spreading the message of love. And what is actually in the Bible as far as the love message. So she was not a bad minister. She did her job. You just didn't like what she has to say. It's probably a reason why you're not up in church in the first place. I think that was, what, the second time we seen you there? Not as a funeral. When I say I wonder if we're going to have another election again, because of the laws and everything that has been changed so quickly, and they will continue to change things, they will continue to dismantle things, they will continue, and they're going to bulldoze, and they're going to do it fast, and they're going to continue to do it fast, because they're not going to wait for somebody to tell them to stop. They're going to ignore court orders, just as they currently are doing. So what point is it when somebody who isn't even an elected official or an appointed or somebody that was confirmed by the Senate can call for a judge to be impeached? What is going on here? And who's really running things? Because, first of all, I firmly believe that Harris won. I firmly believe that. And whether it was however, the numbers don't lie. But when you look at the numbers of the people that were purged from the voter rolls, and that were Democrat, they were all Democrat and of color. There was just a few white in there. When the numbers came out, you were able to see she would have won all these different states because they purged as much as 100,000 plus per state. And they did it in a way, once again, similar to this Nazi Germany time, where they created a platform where people could call and give a name of somebody whom they didn't think that they were a legal citizen to vote, that they thought that their registration should be questioned. So upon that, from a citizen, a public person doing that, then it opened the floodgates to people's names being pulled and questioned as to whether or not they can vote. People who were legal voters pulled and were not allowed to vote, which then weakened the numbers. This has been a continual action. I believe the reason why Diaper Dawn was so much on in 2020 saying that no, he won, because they attempted all of these tricks and they were expecting it to work. And that's why he had to stick on, no, I won. Doesn't matter what they are saying, because they attempted something and it didn't work. And then went so far as to Jan 6 to try to keep it. Went so far as to sending in fake electors. Fake elector results. Bold enough. People believed. You're in a cult. I suggest you come out. The air is clear out here. I send you love. I'm sorry. That was very judgmental. I know. But I am in a rant. Yes, I got to get it all out my system. Yes. Where was I? Oh yeah. Voter purging. Purging the voter rolls. Dividing the people. Misinformation. Spreading lies. It was amazing how Diaper Dawn could get up there on the mic and thank Elon for all that he did to help him win. You admitted it. And now that this man has put so much money into you in your campaign to help you win, and all the tricks and so forth that were done, all the deflecting that they were doing, of course you're going to allow this man to go all through our U.S. Treasury and our telling us you're so much on immigrants, having this man tell us what we should and should not have, what we can and cannot have, that is of our own money in the first place. I don't think he's actually after individual us, but I do think that he will, that there will be information or identities or whatever that they will hold on to. I don't see the purpose in it being a big deal of releasing the JFK files. And how many of you have conscious memory of it happening other than on the TV or the news? Were you old enough then, or even alive then? Raise your hand if you remember. Now, I remember Reagan. I remember Trump. Assassination. But isn't that amazing how he heals? You see that ear that was blown off with a high-powered rifle? All that blood that came from that ear? It's whole and intact right now. You can see it. Just watch him on TV. Because he's on it every day now. Not that he left for the past, how many years? Are we a year yet into this information? Well, anyway, that was a lot right there. That's a lot to think of right there. How the similarities from when this country was first established to the laws and everything and actions that are being taken now. As a collective conscious, what are we going to decide to do? What actions are we going to take? Because yes, the traditional route is call your senator, call your congressman, write them a letter. It's really easy to do. I've done it several times. Write a letter, an automated one response you'll get, and then you'll get a regular response. Voice your opinion. My concern is with all the things that are being broken down so quickly and so fast, what's going to be able to get done? If you're going to fire the attorney generals, that do regulations and make sure that we are doing things in the correct way so that we can stay safe and healthy, the Civil Rights Act, so that we will have some place to go to file a complaint if our civil rights have been violated. Well, that's kind of gone. You're just taking everything away. There's a part of me that think that's they on the Democrats in the Capitol Hill and the Senate and all them. They're kind of like, okay, what can we do? They're trying to do stuff as quickly as they can, but what can they do? Where is this going to go? How far is this going to go? And then what will it take for it to stop? Will it be able to be stopped by him being removed? He has a majority in the Senate, in Congress, and the House. He's literally telling other people in other countries of what people they should take. No, you keep them. You keep these people because I'm going to develop this land right here for real estate development, the new Riviera. They'll be safer over there. It's not safe right now. We'll clean it all up. Oh, but our military won't be there. we'll make sure other military is there. This man. And if that even happens, then what do they have on other countries? Is that the reason why they're going into the Treasury Department like they're doing? Digging deep, deep, deep for information that they have or have paid to other countries on something or another? Or it's a bigger reason than just your everyday tax returns. A much bigger reason. Much. That's where we are. And I will continue to send love and light. I will continue to send higher vibrations so that we may have peace, unity, and oneness. We can have our differences, but we don't have to be so low. I know I said a lot, and I didn't even say everything that I wanted to say, but I see the time. Excuse me. So I'll just come back on another rant day. How's that? Does that sound good? Please subscribe, like, and share. Comment. Let's start a conversation. Yeah, I'll do my best with that because I promise I'm not much of a wordy person. So in the responses that I have given to everybody and your wonderful comments that you've given, I promise you it's been a whole paragraph in the same size as yours that came in. Please accept my sincere, sorry, but that's just the level that I am with writing out. So I will respond. I'll do my best. But do come back. I welcome you back. I send the invitation for you to come back. And I also send the invitation in a warm welcome to subscribe to this channel, to come back. Join me tomorrow because I will be giving the dividend numbers for the weekly Yield Max, Defiance, and Round Hill entities of what they are paying in dividends for this week. Now, I didn't do it last week because I didn't have a voice. I had that whatever was going around, and you still hear me clearing my throat, and you've heard it in, but the great thing about our bodies when we get sick is we heal. Isn't that great? So I'm healing. I am healed. I will chat with you later. Bye.